Welcome, another episode, Trooper Steve on patrol, and this time I get to have an awesome guest. Guys, I have Lacey DeMott inside the vehicle with the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation. Ma'am, welcome.
Thank you.
It's not the first time.
No.
It definitely won't be the last,
but it's my first time in the front seat.
In the front seat.
I'm always put to the back.
Yeah, now just you in here representing the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation. Man, it's beautiful outside today.
It is.
It has been a little cold. A little too cold for me. This headache is kicking my butt today, but I was so excited anytime we get to talk about the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation. But it's always a little heavy, but it always has like a beautiful silver lining to it, and you guys gracefully do that. But walk me through a little bit. What is the generic question? What is, who is, why does the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation exist?
So we exist because someone who we never met made a decision to drink, get in his car and drive, and 10 years ago took our Keri from us.
And that happened right here in Orange County, or Brevard County.
It was Brevard County.
County.
Yeah, she was driving from Titusville home, and it happened out on the 407 out there.
And so 10 years.
Yes, October 10th was 10 years.
And it never gets easier.
Nope.
I've seen what you guys have been able to do over the years. And many parents, many families would just go quiet, would simply deal with their grief and move on with their life. You guys have chosen to do something completely different in ways that most people would not see possible. What did you guys do?
So we, it's something that we live every day, and there's no getting away from that. And so instead of just sitting in a corner and being quiet, we decided to start the foundation. That way we can help others that have gone through or potentially will go through what we've gone through and help them through that process. We deal with it every day, so instead of, we've turned pain into purpose.
I like that. And you guys, you're not on a mission. Your mission is so diverse that I think that's why I feel a lot of people, once they hear about it, they smile. They're like, the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation, because you're not out there chastising people.
No.
You're not out there slamming a rule book on people. And you guys were on a decision-making tour.
Yes.
For a very long time.
And we still are.
And whether it's an adult or a child, that's really the core of what you guys are preaching. And it's not just you, it's your husband, your daughter. You have an amazing board. You have a youth foundation now that's part of the Keri Anne DeMott crew. Talk to me a little bit about the initial 2 years of the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation. Where was the mission driven? Where were you guys trying to go and implant this decision making kind of foundation?
I think we started, just trying to get into the schools and in front of students, because we figured that if we can teach them young, right, and get it in their head young, because they all know adults, young adults, old adults, and if we can get it in their head, who better to advocate for themselves is them, and then they can, help those around them realize what they're doing in their decision making as well. So we really wanted to get in front of the kids, just to start them out on the right foot, but not just about their driving, just about their decisions and how they treat people and how they are on social media and how what they do follows them throughout their life, and how their decisions can affect more than just themselves. It's amazing.
You guys go to auditoriums, and getting a high schooler's attention, it's not easy. I don't have kids, but I'm around them. You guys have children. I'm sure you could attest. Like, it takes some effort. Yeah. And we've all been to high school. We all were there. They want to teach you something. You got 500 kids in a room. How do you get these kids' attention? And if you guys watching at home, it's amazing what you guys are able to do. And I don't know if it's the physical presence of your husband that sometimes gets that. Bill is a big man, but has a very soft voice. And what you guys speak comes from a place of absolute experience. So it's like, that was effective. But what you guys did after that is, and then segue yourself into education, into like these academies, police academies.
Yes.
Why'd you guys do that?
So, law enforcement, first responders, they're very, very important to us. The way they took care of us and handled, the situation, from the start, from how they handled Keri on scene and how they took care of her and how they, eventually, brought her home to us and how they handled us and just the whole situation. Law enforcement is, they keep us safe.
So you saw something the night you lost your daughter that you had never seen before from a first responder perspective.
Yes.
That made you go, whoa.
Yes. The way from the firefighters that recognized the situation and what was going on to, Trooper Hitchcock from FHP that was there on scene and, handling and making sure that, warrants were served and everything else. And it just, the way that they jumped into action, they didn't know Keri.
Right.
But the way they jumped into action and then came to us and were with us and the way they, helped us through, we just felt we needed to make sure that they understood how appreciative we are and how appreciative, the community is for what they do. Because what they do is not easy. What they see is not easy. What they go home with in their minds and in their hearts is not easy. And we want to make sure that they know that they are appreciated, that we love them, and that we're so thankful for them.
And it's amazing because the influence that you guys have had with some of these law enforcement officers, they carry Keri's picture in their car.
Yes.
As a reminder that if you can just save this one.
Right.
Right?
Right.
A big phrase of the foundation. This one alone. And it's amazing how much money, and I know we're jumping all over the place there a little bit, but you guys aren't just showing up to say thank you. You guys are giving scholarships out to these law enforcement officers to go get extra training and to buy extra gear. Talk to me about where did your mind, because you don't see that anywhere. How'd that come about?
So what we kind of learned through, speaking to a lot of people is that a lot of the education that they receive, they pay for out of their own pockets.
Okay.
So a lot of, in order to make themselves better, in order to make themselves, more, just educated in what they're doing, they pay for a lot of that continuing education out of their own pockets. So we thought, let's help to kind of ease that burden of the ones that are out there actually, making a difference and help to ease that burden on them. So that's why we started the Decision Scholarship. And with the Decision Scholarship, that helps to, kind of help them fund what they're doing.
I like it because a lot of people don't realize not every cop is a DRE, a drug recognition expert.
Right.
There are schooling that you can go to take advanced DUI detection and stuff like that. Yes, every police officer, deputy, trooper has the basic skill and common sense, but there's some specialized training out there that not every agency will pay for. So you guys are coming in and going, we got you.
Yes.
That's amazing. So
and we also, with that, when they get their Decision Scholarship Award, which we do at the gala, they're handed a pair of, the officers anyways, are handed a pair of the orange handcuffs. So they're out there arresting with the orange handcuffs, and then that leads them to tell the person that they're arresting why they have these orange handcuffs on and why what they did,
means
what their decision was and how it could have affected somebody.
And they're orange because
Keri's favorite color.
Everything is orange at this foundation.
Right.
It's great.
We had to throw in teal just to break it up, and it just kind of happened to be that was a color that we threw into a t-shirt, and it worked. So no, it has absolutely nothing to do with Miami Dolphins or anything else.
No, it's Keri Anne.
It's because that's who she was. She was bright and shiny, just like the color orange.
Love
it was her favorite.
So you guys, 10 years, a full decade of difference, and it's amazing. How many people would you say you and your family, the foundation, have come in contact with just speaking on behalf of the foundation?
Student-wise, we've been in front of at least 500,000 kids. And that goes beyond, that's probably here in Florida. That doesn't include who we've spoken to outside of Florida, because Bill and the foundation travel across the country.
Right.
So, over 500,000 kids he has spoken to.
Law enforcement?
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the amount of agencies that he has been to, again, across the country. I can't even...
Well into the 20, 30,000
yes,
cops.
Easy.
Oh, insane. So we are, how would we say it? Are we celebrating 10 years? Are we commemorating? Are we solidifying 10 years of difference?
Yes. So it's hard to say celebrating because of
the loss of Keri.
the loss of, and not just Keri, the loss of so many people. So it's hard to say we're celebrating, but 10 years is a huge accomplishment in the terms of nonprofit work, because nonprofit work is hard, it's taxing, and a lot of people don't make it out of the 5 to 7 year mark. So to say that we've been able to sustain for 10 years is something to celebrate.
And the number of lives that you possibly have saved
is something to celebrate.
And you'll never be able to count them.
No.
And I think that is a pretty awesome part of that.
Yes,
is
exactly.
Not knowing, because you just keep going.
Right.
It's like, all right, there's more. There's more people I need to talk to.
Yes.
So what separates year 10? Where is the foundation right now in 2026? What are we looking at? What does this year look like? You've welcomed some big sponsors on board this year.
We have.
We're celebrating Friday night here in the Central Florida area, a decade of difference.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So this Friday at Holy Trinity, we are hosting our it's in her name, a Decade of Difference gala. So we are going a little fancy this year.
All right.
So time to get dressed up, so I mean, 10 years, right? So now you sit back and you think, okay, we've done it this way for 10 years. Now let's see what we can do to refresh, renew, and continue for another 10, 20 some years. So,
and tickets are still available.
There are some tickets still available
on the website. You guys can just hop onto the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation website and scroll all the way down, and the tickets are right there.
Yes.
There's still some, so we want to fill the place. You've already have over 250 people attending.
Yes.
This is going to be...
It's going to be huge, and you don't want to miss it, because there's, we have our platinum sponsor, Siemens.
Yeah, give them a shout out.
Yep, Siemens Global Business Services, FDOT Target Zero. And you just never know who's going to pop in and who you might meet at the gala. So it's always, and it's a great night. It's a great night. It's great food. You get to meet a lot of people. So. And
you guys do a great job at recognizing not only your first responders that are doing crazy stuff out there, but your civilian counterparts, your partners, whether it's the church that you guys are always attending at C3, and they do so much, or the volunteers. And if you guys look, they're always looking for help. If you're looking to volunteer, internships, things like that, all the information's on their main website. You can head right over to it. They have all the information, the mission statement, what they stand for, why they do it, and the direct way on how you can help. Maybe you can't attend the event Friday night. Maybe you're just someone at home going, I want to help. You can donate directly to the Keri Anne DeMott Foundation. $5 goes a long way with this foundation. When I tell you this is a true grassroots organization, and 100% of everything you donate goes right back to this organization. They're not paying no corporate bank account, none of that. Everything is affecting right here in this community. And I think, Lacey, when you think about Keri Anne, she was a local student like everybody around this area. It could have happened to anybody.
Yes.
And it does happen to so many people.
It does.
Continuously.
Yes.
And it's like, when will it end? How will we stop it? And I think what you guys are doing is impacting youth. And before we sign off, talk to me a little bit about your youth foundation.
So we have a youth board. They kind of help to keep us young and fresh, and what's happening in their world, so that when we go in and speak to the students, we know what is relevant to them.
Okay.
So and they also, they're out in the community. They're going to have a huge presence at the gala. We've kind of handed a lot of the speaking engagements over to them, kind of getting them, ready for the real world. But they're a huge impact, because they stand for what we stand for, and they bring that back into their schools, and we are continuously looking for youth that are interested in being involved in the youth board. So
it takes a lot of courage as a kid.
It does because,
it's not the cool thing.
It is not. It is not the cool thing to be, I don't want to say it. Right.
It's not cool to be responsible.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It is so weird because it's like, wait, these kids are out still having a good time.
Yeah.
They're living their life.
Right.
But they're just trying to make sure their friends get home safely.
Right.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, and it's not just, at their age, they're not drinking yet. They're not supposed to be.
Right.
So, but it's the texting and driving. It's the, making sure that they're safe when they're out and about, the buddy system, and making sure that, they're not posting stupid things or doing, just...
You guys are full encompassing just being a good person.
Exactly. And that's what it is, because that's what Keri was. That's what she was about. Like you said, she was a student here. She was a student at UCF. She was going to be a social worker to help, kids in the same way that we are. So we're just continuing her mission.
And she is working you guys out.
She sure is.
Because it is when she pulled up, I was like, "Hey, Lacey, how are you?" She's like, "I'm here." And that's usually the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the gala every year. Yes. So again, if you guys are interested, head over to their website, give them a follow. They have Instagram, they have Facebook, all the social media platforms, always posting something that they're doing. And then if you want to be involved, reach out to them. They've got some 5Ks throughout the year. They have special events that they take place. They recognize national traffic awareness and things like that. So these are the ones leading the charge right here in this community. So Lacey, anything else that we missed that we want to get out?
No,
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So drive safely, guys. Give them a follow. I hope I see you guys Friday night. I get the absolute blessing of emceeing this beautiful event. I'm really excited for Friday. 10 years, a lot of people.
Have you been at all of them?
I missed one, I believe. No, I didn't.
Were you at the very first one? Because Bill did it all by himself the first year, and then you took over year 2.
That is correct. I did go to the first one, and then when he sat down, he's like, "Yeah, you're doing this next year." Because then I had left. I had left the Highway Patrol, and that's when I joined over here. Yeah, my good. We're getting old, Lacey. We're getting old. All right, guys, thank you for joining us, our Trooper Steve on patrol. Remember, Friday night, you'll be able to attend this amazing event. And if you can't, just support them. Everything stays right here. It's all about making the right decisions and saving people's lives. So, Lacey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you.
We'll see you guys later.